Alright, so back, of course, talk about some more Square Enix. So recently, Square Enix launched a survey for Square Enix members to take. You can only do it on the website, and you can only do it if you have like a Japanese Square Enix account. But it's a survey for Team Asano, who are known for like Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, Live a Live. They have original shit like Triangle Strategy, but they, from what I see, anyways, just kind of skimming through like their games, they do a lot of like ports and remasters and remakes and stuff. They even did like the Final Fantasy IV to the DS, shit like that. And obviously, I can't view the survey itself, but from what I've read, it's just a pretty basic survey asking general questions that you'd expect. But there are two particular questions that are of interest. And they read, which video game genre would you like to see Team Asano develop, and what kind of games would you like to see remade or remastered in the future, not limited to Square Enix titles? That first question is actually pretty interesting just because, just from what they've seen, at least in recent years, I haven't looked through the whole catalog, but they're kind of known for like turn-based RPGs and tactical RPGs, right? Like Triangle Strategy and other shit like that. Octopath Traveler's turn-based, obviously. So it's a little bit interesting because it seems like either Square Enix wants them to branch out, or maybe Team Asano wants to try something new, branch out into a different genre, but I think they're feeling like a nice niche that Square Enix themselves isn't really doing, right? Because like the Final Fantasy series, just as an example, hasn't been turn-based for a long time, right? Realistically, it hasn't been turn-based since like Final Fantasy X. That was like the last actual like traditional kind of turn-based Final Fantasy game. And how old's that game? 20-something years? Like the numbered entries beyond that and shit are just not turn-based by any stretch. They're more action RPG, especially with like 16 coming up, 15, 7 remake, all that other shit, right? So I think it's nice to have somebody within Square Enix doing these kinds of games, even if it's brand new games like Triangle Strategy, like Octopath Traveler, whatever, or if it's them like remaking, remastering old RPGs. Like it's nice to have that happening, right? Because nostalgia sells. Like there's so many games we all want to modern consoles, so it's nice to have somebody doing that within Square Enix. And obviously, if the devs do want to branch out and try other genres, they should be able to do that. They should have the freedom to do that. So I'm not against that entirely. It's just I think they're doing a great job with what they're doing. But assuming that maybe that was just a placeholder name or title, like the acclaims with a lot of the games on that list, then yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with Team Asano doing this. Now, another Square Enix, Squaresoft title that I'd like to see remade or remastered would be the obvious Parasite Eve, since we got fucked last year with that whole situation with that goddamn trademark and shit where it ended up not being Parasite Eve and it was a fucking NFT thing or whatever. Like, ugh. But regardless, I would like a modern Parasite Eve, for sure. Parasite Eve 1, for sure, dude. I love that game. This picture right here, I believe, is the full list of like Squaresoft North American games. So you could pretty much take any game from this picture that doesn't already have some sort of like modern remake or remaster, and you could do that and it'd be perfectly fine. They're all classics in their own ways. I'm not sure if there's any like RPGs out there that are like Japanese exclusive that we've just never had. Like if that's the case, whatever it would be, doesn't even matter what it is, like that'd be a perfect option too, just to kind of get that into the world for everybody. But the other interesting bit from that question, of course, is the fact that it does not have to be a Square game. It doesn't have to be a Square Enix game, or I guess technically Squaresoft if you want to talk older games. Whatever the case, it doesn't have to be Square Enix specific. And you could, I mean, there's a laundry list of games that could be, right? Especially when they're interested in Team Asano, maybe branch out and try other genres. It's kind of hard to even speculate what that could be. If we're going to stick to RPGs, the one that comes to mind, it's at the top of fucking everybody's list and has been for a very long time now, and that's, of course, Legend of Dragoon. I mean, this is by far one of the most beloved RPGs of all time, and I don't understand why we've never seen it, like, ported or remastered or anything. I don't know if there's, like, some sort of, like, somebody owns like the intellectual property and just won't allow it to happen, or maybe they've lost the source code a long time ago or something, so it would take a lot of effort to like rebuild it and get it back to like a playable game or something like that. But is it not worth the effort given like how iconic this game is? It's just kind of crazy to me. I've always just found it kind of crazy because how much people love that game and it's just never been ported or remastered or anything like that. It's just like it's just left by the wayside. It's just nobody seems to care about that franchise or that game. A sequel would be nice too, right? Let's get like a port or remaster going, remake, whatever. Get Legend of Dragoon 1 out there in the world again, and that would be awesome for them to come back to that franchise, somebody. And actually looking into it really quickly, apparently Sony owns the trademark to Legend of Dragoon, and obviously Sony has a pretty good working relationship with Square Enix, so like they can get something going there, man. But if I had to just throw my own RPG out there that I'd love to see, like a modern like remake, remaster, or even just a fucking port at this point, I'll take anything, is Legend of Lagaya. This is such a underrated RPG that I feel like not enough people know about. There's definitely people out there I come across occasionally. I was actually talking with somebody on Twitter like today or yesterday about this because they mentioned it as well. I tweet about it occasionally. It's just such a unique RPG with its combat system with like the attacking high, low, left, and right. And if you put in like button combinations correctly, you can do like special attacks, and your bar gets bigger so you can do more attacks later on and stuff like that. You can also capture some of the monsters that you fight and like use them in battle and like level up their magic and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. It's also the first RPG I ever played where like your character changed the way they look based on your equipment. Like, your field model looks the same as you walk around the world, but when you get into battle, everything you have equipped in your character shows up. Their headpiece, their chest piece, their hands, their weapon, and the shit that's on their legs. Like, that shit blew my tits off. Coming from like, FF7 or something back in the day where it's like just your weapon changes in battle. And a lot of RPGs really just change the weapon, right? They don't change what your characters look like. And that shit impressed me so much back then, and it still does to this day, because not a lot of old RPGs did this. And that would be my mini review for Legend of Lagaya. But yeah, I absolutely love that game. I've wanted to talk about it for a while. I've actually wanted to do like a video on it at some point, and that could still happen. Not anytime soon. I don't have any plans to do a video, but I've thought about it before because I just absolutely love the RPG and it needs more light shine on it. Anyways, that's more or less the video, my dudes. The main takeaway from this video is that Square Enix is interested in Team Asano doing more remakes and remasters, and they don't even have to be Square Enix games. So that could be kind of anything, of course. Hopefully, we get the illustrious, the fucking elusive Legend of Dragoon. Remake, remaster, fucking, dude, give me the PS1 graphics and just port the motherfucker to modern consoles. I don't care. I don't care how shitty it looks on my modern TV. I don't care. I want it. But of course, that's where I pass off to you guys. So what would you like to see Team Asano remake, remaster when it comes to like Square Enix games? And then, of course, whatever other games you think they could actually do outside of Square Enix. That's the video. Subscribe to if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, _YT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.